Hi, my name's Matt Garrett. I'm from Cookeville, Tennessee, and I'm 22 years old. Growing up, I had a good childhood, a good family, and at a young age, my parents just instilled good Christian values in my life, and we always were at church, and they were just a good example of what I needed to do with my life. But once I got to 13 years old, I started, trying to do things my own way and just started rebelling, and I started hanging out with the wrong crowds and just letting the wrong people influence me. And throughout high school, I drank and smoked and experimented with drugs, and by the time I graduated high school and started college, I'd pretty much done every drug there was, just trying to find what would make me happy and what I thought I needed, and just trying to seek approval from the wrong crowds. And throughout college, I partied almost every day, did all sorts of drugs, and I was never truly happy, and I was always seeking to find what would make me happy and to fill that void in my life that I had. And in college, I met my wife, Jessica, and we started dating, and we started partying together and started doing pain pills. And once we started doing pain pills, we knew we were hooked, and it was what we thought we wanted, and so we would continually do them every day, all day. And eventually, she got pregnant, and we decided to get married, and we thought, this will keep us sober. Having a son will help us. We both came from a good Christian background, and we thought this is what would keep us. But we eventually got married, and we were still using, and she had our son, and by God's grace, he was perfectly fine. There was nothing wrong with him, and we knew that was God at the time, but we still kept on running. And it was in November of last year, and I was in rehab, and my wife was at home with our son, who was 2 months old, and I was about to get out on Tuesday, and I just remember I was in my room, and I knew nothing was different. I knew I was going to get out and use again, and it was the same as last time. And I just remember getting on my knees and just crying out to God from the bottom of my heart for the first time in my life, and just asking him to help me to change, help me to be a father and a husband that I know he wanted me to be. And within 4 hours, my dad shows up at the rehab center I'm at in Alabama, and he tells me he needs to talk to me, and I'm confused, and I don't understand why he's there. And he tells me that my wife Jessica had overdosed the night before, and she was in the hospital, but she was all right. And I just began to cry, and that's when he mentioned Teen Challenge to me. He told me that, if you're gonna, pretty much the exact prayer I prayed that morning, he said, if you're gonna get out and do the same thing you've always done, you need to finally get Jesus in your life, and this is how you can do it. You need to finally be the man of God that he wants you to be. And I knew that was God's answer to my prayer, and I genuinely felt like he was listening and he cared for me for the first time in my life. And that's when I just surrendered everything to him, and I just came up here just broken. And him and my wife's parents said they were going to watch our son for us for a year and get Jessica in a Teen Challenge also. And so I came up to Teen Challenge, and after a month of being in the program, they got my wife up here. And it's just so amazing what God does when you just give him your all and you just surrender everything to him. He does so much better of a job of keeping you and protecting you than you could ever do. And I just am so thankful for him restoring my marriage and my family, and I'm just so happy that I'm serving him today, and the joy and the peace and the hope I have in my life. And I no longer have that void in my life, and I don't have to try to fill it with things of the world, and I just give him all the glory, honor, and praise.